What's up, guys? Coach Simmons here, back for episode number 9 of Jog Your Mind. And for this one, we're going to kind of dig into something that maybe feels like a little bit of a rant, but I promise it's not. You know, we've talked about mindset a lot over the last couple of seasons, right? Season 2, probably my second or third time talking to you guys about mindset. But one of the things that's frustrated me lately, and I promise this won't be a rant for the whole episode. I've got some things that I want you guys to think about and think deeply about. Is I've sat down with a lot of kids over the last couple of years, and as they come into the program or I work with them remotely, one of the things I hear from them is the frustration that they are the hardest working kid on the team, or maybe they're the athlete that was slower. And maybe they, came into a team and maybe took over a spot because they worked hard for that spot. And now all of a sudden, they find themselves in a really tricky position. Their work ethic and their hard work got them into a great position. Maybe they're the number 1 or number 2 or number 3 fastest runner on the team. And that ends up creating this place where there's frustration and even anger and, this removal of them from the social circle because people liked them where they were. They liked them when they were just a little bit slower. But now that they're getting faster, those people or that person even ends up feeling threatened. That person ends up, creating a place where it's very difficult for that athlete. And maybe this is you. And so I'll bring it into that. If you find yourself as someone who is struggling with the, being put on an island, so to speak, for your hard work and your work ethic, don't stop. Don't stop pushing and working and doing all the things that you have done so far that have gotten you success. One of the best things I've ever come across was Mike Rowe, for many of you guys who may not know. He was a TV host of a show called Dirty Jobs. And one of the things that he loves and that I love is getting dirty, getting my hands dirty. I love working with my hands, love being in the garden, building stuff, doing things. But the thing that I really love about Mike Rowe is his passion. He has a huge passion for things that aren't the corporate world. He is a man that has blazed his own path in many, many ways. And he created something called the S.W.E.A.T pledge. Skill and work ethics aren't taboo. Now, I've adapted that S.W.E.T pledge to mean some important things to me. And I've included that in this week's episode as kind of an extra for you guys just to read. Maybe something you align with, maybe something, that'll resonate with you. But one of the big things that he put out there is the idea of maybe not having to go to college and going to trade school and being a plumber or, being a welder or someone that just works with their hands, because the more we go and say that college is the best place for us to go and move towards, and I realize I've just put out an episode about running in college and things like that, you have to pursue what you're passionate about. And you can't let people and their ideas and their preconceived notions about what is valuable define who you are. If you like and enjoy welding and working with your hands, or maybe you love plants and farming and growing, we need farmers, we need welders, we need, plumbers, we need people in the trades just as much as we need runners. We need runners and people who aren't afraid to take risks, who aren't afraid of having to overcome the discomfort of being the person who is the quote unquote try hard on the team. And just because people call you a try hard and label you as something does not actually mean that you are that. Only if you choose to listen to them does that define that. And really at the end of the day, I've watched more kids leave this sport because of bad teammates and bad cultures than I've watched come into the sport because of great teams and great cultures. At the end of the day, you have to do this because you love it. Going out and running 40, 50 miles a week, that's something that not a lot of people will do, but that's what it takes. And it doesn't stop. I think that's the thing I'd love to tell you. I still get out and run 50 miles a week. And I don't have a race but one on the calendar in the next 2 months, let alone the rest of the year. But you have to do something hard every single day. And sometimes that hard thing is just getting out of bed or doing a workout. But you need that. You need that place. You need that release. And so why am I sitting down and talking about this and we're 5 minutes in and I haven't gotten to the point of what I want to say? I've said what I've wanted to say. At the end of this, I want all of you guys to feel like as you take a step forward to embrace your running, you don't have to be the fastest on the team. Heck, you don't even have to be in the top third. If you love running and you love doing it, don't let other people and what they think about you, let that define who you are. We talk about embracing a racing mindset. Well, a racing mindset is really about the idea of understanding that it's about you and what you're showing up as that day. I have talked to many athletes. I can think of a couple of conversations I've had that how they choose to show up that day defines how they race. And that's as simple as an attitude and being present to the idea that if you are snappy and, just rude and short with people and your parents before a race, don't think that turns off the day you walk onto the track and the moment you walk on the track. No, you carry that with you, and you have to be able to learn how to switch that. The way you switch that is being present to the fact that maybe you're kind of being a pain in the butt. Maybe you're being short with people and you're just anxious and nervous about having to race. But I wanted to bring up one key thing here. Let me pull up this sweat pledge while we're talking. The thing that resonated with me about this sweat pledge is really this, and I'll read it to you guys. I believe that every practice or race is an opportunity, and it is up to me to make the best of them. I do not follow my passion. I bring it with me. I believe that everything can be done with passion and enthusiasm. And that's the key thing for today, guys. It's about effort. There is not any person on a team that is more valuable or less valuable as long as they're all putting in the same amount of effort. I have watched kids go from being a JV, barely making it kid to running in college at a D1. And it's because they showed up every single day and put in effort. And they decided that they wanted something more. It's a decision. You get to decide what you want out of this experience. I believe that safety is my responsibility. I understand that being in compliance does not necessarily mean that I am out of danger. I believe that the best way to distinguish myself is to show up early, stay late, and cheerfully volunteer when opportunities arise. I can't tell you how much that as a coach, those are the things that I see. Those are the things that go into letters of recommendation is the people who show up early and the people who stay late. It shows that they care and they care about their team. And they do it without asking. And in reverse of that, they actually ask, is there anything else I can do? Because that's what it takes to be a dedicated team member. What I want you guys to get out of this now, and what I'll say is, let me read the rest of this. And I think you guys will see what I mean and why I think this pledge is something that is an ethos of me as a coach, but also the people that I coach. I believe that the most annoying sounds in the world are whining and complaining. I will never make them. If I'm unhappy with a task, a race, or an outcome, I will either take another approach or seek help when I don't have answers. Can't tell you how important vulnerability and the willingness to share your frustration with your coach actually is. I promise you're not weak. I believe my education is my responsibility and absolutely critical to my success. I'm resolved to learn as much as I can from whatever source is available to me. I believe that I'm a product of my choices, not my circumstances. I will never blame anyone for my shortcomings or challenges that I face. I will never take credit for something I didn't do. I understand that the world isn't fair, and I'm okay with that. I do not resent the success of others. I believe that all people are created equal. I also believe that all people make choices. Some choose to be lazy. Some choose to sleep in. I choose to work my butt off. And that's what it comes back to, guys, is effort. If you show up and you're willing to put out 100% effort, you'll get what you want. And yep, sometimes the world isn't fair. I can tell you, I can think of a number of athletes I've worked with over the last 8 weeks who have done everything right, and they ended up injured, banged up, stress fracture, had to miss some races. Life ain't fair and the world is mean. But the effort to come back, the effort and the resolve to push through and regain your own trust in yourself. It all takes effort, but you have to want it You have to drive towards it. So I promise this isn't a clickbaity title. The more you read it, the more you think about it, this is really what I mean when I say that this is the mindset for racing success. You have to embrace it. And so I know we didn't talk about splits. I know we didn't talk about strategy. And maybe this will be, episode 9, Andrew's long ramble on effort. But I hope this was something that resonated with you guys. I hope this was something that you feel and you feel inside you. And I hope you guys walk away from this episode feeling like I now have something that I can think about and look back on, and something I can be proud of. Because for some athletes, this is 4 years of high school running. Maybe you're lucky and very blessed to have another 4 years. But what you have, no matter what, is the day after you graduate high school, if you don't go on to run in college, the beauty is the next day you can wake up, tie on your shoes, and get out there and go run miles. Because it's not always about an end goal. It's about the process. It's about getting up every morning and doing something and challenging yourself and doing something for you. So bring it all the way back. It doesn't matter what other people think at the end of the day. If you love running and what it gives back to you, keep pursuing it. Just be relentless in that pursuit. That's it. That's all I got for you guys. Episode 9, Andrew's Ramble on Effort. See ya.